Michael Thomas, who had a bit of a down year, one could say, off of the injury, right? He had that ankle injury very early on in the season to it, never quite really returned to form, kind of struggled to come back to play that last season with Drew Brees, but he had 40 receptions on 55 targets, 438 yards, 0 touchdown. Guys, your thoughts on Michael Thomas?
I expect him to return to form, guys. Like I expect Michael Thomas to be back inside the top 10 for wide receivers. Derek, I know that you have him rated even higher than just that, but I feel comfortable with that. We've seen that. I believe that Jameis Winston can easily fulfill the Michael Thomas quota. He did it for a number of years with Mike Evans. It's not going to be a problem for him to do the same thing with Michael Thomas. Outside of Alvin Kamara, there's not really any sort of pass-catching threat in New Orleans. So he's an easy guy to lock onto. He runs crisp routes. He has great hands. So all these things where, Jameis can get a little wild at times. Michael Thomas and his just raw ability to catch the ball, his wingspan, and his ability to just come down with damn near everything keeps him up there. So I like him a lot. He's falling down.
I'd still say if he's at 140 targets, he's going to be over 1,000 yards. And that's obviously he's been over 1,000 yards every year except for last year with the ankle sprain. Him healthy, even with which I think we all kind of hope it will be, for especially people who are picking up Michael Thomas, hope that it will be Jameis Winston that's throwing the football down there. Then you're going to be able to see his production get back to his form. Now, I don't think that he goes for 1,400 yards like he did in 2018. Definitely don't think he goes for 1,725 like he did in 2019. But even still, with 100 catches and say 12 or 1,300 yards, and if he can get in the end zone 7 or 8 times, you're going to be okay, especially with where he's being drafted at.
I'm going to just kind of call my shot on this one. He returns to form, wide receiver 1 this year, wide receiver number 1 overall. So when you look at it, he is being drafted as the wide receiver 9 right now. Kevin hit the mark kind of right on the head, whereas as far as ADP goes for round wise, he's 29.3 overall, which would put him a 3rd round, probably the 305, somewhere right in that range, 305 to 306, right in there. And if you can get a guy in that range that will be the, will finish in the number 1 wide receiver territory, you're going to be great. And hey, if you can get a wide receiver in that range that's going to finish in the top 3, you're still in great shape there. And I think that all of those are very real possibilities, even if Taysom Hill is the starting quarterback there, because with Taysom Hill under center last year, right? Like you look at some of the narrative street out there where Taysom Hill didn't necessarily like to throw the ball to Michael Thomas. When you look at it, he averaged about 8.8 targets per game with Taysom Hill under center there. So almost 9 targets a game, extrapolating that over 17, that puts it well above that 150 pace to it. But I think Jameis will be the starting quarterback there. So even better. It's interesting that you put it at 1,400 yards there, Alex, because of the way that I had that statted out there. So that's the line here, over under 1,400 yards. What do you got for Michael Thomas this year?
I'm under.
I think I'm going to fall under, but barely. Like I don't think it's going to be too far off. And I think that's just going to be the efficiency of the offense. I do think they're going to stutter a little bit, and I think that might slow some of that, but it's 1386. Really something crazy like that where it's going to be damn close.
I had when I statted that out, it was 1401, 1,401 yards for him. So I've got to take the over just barely